You fought well yesterday. Your style is unorthodox.
Good morning, Yankees universe. Welcome back to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew on this Thursday, September 26th. Like always, I'm your guy Hector, joined by my compadre this morning. I got the lovely Grace Monroe, and all you Yankee fans, wake up and get your coffee. Grace, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling like dun 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 dun. What's that song? I am
The
the
Rocky,
tiger. Yeah.
the Rocky theme
I'm
song.
ready to fight every single one of y'all up in this chat who came up here to slander Jasson Dominguez and his
Oh, you
beautiful
already know.
name.
You
I'm
already
ready.
know. You already know.
See, I'm
They're
ready.
ready. They're ready to fight this morning. Let's shout out the chat. My guy Rich Squires is in the building. Richie, how you doing? Good morning. Salute, salute, salute. Me and Motto, my guy Ghost is in the building. Ghost, my guy. Salute, salute, salute. Theo Nosebleed section is in the building. Our good friend Tina is in the building.
Tina!
Jonathan is in the building. Good morning, Double A. Double A says, salute Hector, salute Grace, and Damien. Time for the Yankees to round into playoff form. Two straight home game losses with implications like the best record in the AL. And of course, division title. This play equals exit. Absolutely Double A. The Yankees, they got to fix it up. I'm gonna leave that chat on the screen. Because this is why you get the division lead, or this is why you build up so many games for this type of scenario, right? We talked about it last week, Grace. Coming into this game, right? I wanted the Yankees to at least have a 3-game lead in the division, because then you're forcing the Baltimore Orioles to sweep your team. And that's where we're at right now. Garrett Cole is on the mound. Like Grace loves to say, Daddy Cole is going to show up. And I believe that Garrett Cole, after 2 straight home losses, will right the ship, and the Yankees will clinch at home and start to get things right. Because like Double A said, the best record is on the line when it comes to the American League. Home field advantage in the American League is on the line. I know some people may not care about that, but personally, I care about that. I want the Yankees to be able to have home field advantage for the entirety of the ALDS and the ALCS. But we got to talk about yesterday's loss, and it was a doozy. Where do you want to start off with, Grace? Where do you want to start off with, Grace?
Oh boy. Let's start out with the pitching.
Copy.
Listen. Did Marcus Stroman have a great first inning? No, he didn't. Am I mad at Marcus Stroman? No, I'm not. And I'll tell you why. This man stepped up when we needed him and said, I can start. Let me try to help the team. Nestor Cortes went out with the injury. He had less than probably 10 hours to prepare for the start. It wasn't his slated start. He wasn't ready. He tried his best to go in and help the team. He settled down after the first inning, but unfortunately, the damage had been done. However, am I mad at Marcus Stroman? No, I'm not. You know what I mean? He stepped up for the team. He tried. Beater looked pretty good. He had some vulnerable moments. However, you got to remember that we're not playing the A's. You know what I mean? We're playing the second place team in the American League East. Postseason bound Baltimore Orioles, who most analysts picked to go to the World Series before the season started. So we're playing a team that is young, hungry, and they're trying to get hot again. And unfortunately, they are kind of getting hot against our New York Yankees, which ain't good, but whatever. Beater looked pretty good. Poteet looked pretty good. Overall, we did what we needed to do to win the game minus the first inning. We cannot come out and let them get at our pitching in the first inning. And that goes for Daddy Cole. That goes for any pitcher. Before they get settled, they had a game plan. They exacted the game plan, and it worked. And then we could never crawl out of the hole. So it just is what it is. It sucks. Nestor went out injured. Nobody knew that. I mean, I don't know. We didn't know that was coming. It kind of got us by surprise. We tried to make it work. It was just one of those games. Unfortunately, it's in crunch time now, and we can't be having these games, but there was nothing much you could do.
Yeah.
Volpe missed 2 plays. Okay, sorry. I'm going to stop there. Let's
No.
talk about the pitching. Go ahead for the pitching.
I was just about to say real quick, I just want to bring up Marcus Stroman's stat line in yesterday. Yeah. And when you look at it, right, like you said, he did have a sloppy first inning. The defense behind him didn't help as much. But when you look at Marcus Stroman's stat line in yesterday's game, Marcus Stroman pitched 3 1/3 innings. He gave up 10 hits, 16 runs, 1 strikeout. I don't care who you are. If you give up 10 hits and 3 1/3 inning, you're not going to win many baseball games. You could be Sandy Koufax, you could be Greg Maddux, you could be Pedro Martinez, and his best days, you're not going to win many baseball games if you're giving up 10 hits, no matter how bad the defense behind you is, because those 10 hits didn't just happen in the first inning. It happened over the 3 innings that he pitched. Like you said, Grace, he wasn't expected to start. I think the Nestor Cortes news probably shaking up the clubhouse. Now we got to worry is Nestor Cortes going to come back to even help him pitch. Was that the last time we ever seen Nestor Cortes pitch with the Yankees because of that elbow issue? And we don't know what that's going to be. So knock on wood. But then you brought up Clayton Beeter. Clayton Beeter looked good. This was my issue. If you're going to use Cody Petit out of the bullpen for 3 innings, right? Why not just let Cody Petit start the day of? Why not just let him start the game? I get it. Marcus Stroman is your veteran. If you have Cody Petit already on the roster, so if you call him up, maybe maybe he wasn't ready either. But to me, if you're going to have Cody Petit pitch the 3 innings and we have Marcus Stroman already mentally in the head that he's in the bullpen, I would have rather seen Cody Petit make the start. That's just me nitpicking. That's just me trying to find something. Hindsight is 50-50. I know they went with Marcus Stroman because he is the veteran. He was on this team for the entire season. So if we were going to clinch the game, right, if we were going to clinch the division, I should say, maybe the Yankees wanted it to be with Marcus Stroman on the mound, being the starting pitcher that opened the season, opening day at Yankee Stadium. Maybe. Again, I'm just trying to find some type of excuse that I could find. But ultimately, we have to turn things around. We can't let Baltimore get any momentum. We can't get swept by our division rival going into the last series of the season against the Pittsburgh Pirates. That's a sad taste that you don't. I mean, that's a bad taste you don't want in your mouth going into the postseason, especially when you're going to have a whole week off. You don't want to get swept by Baltimore, then have a series against the Pittsburgh Pirates, potentially lose that series, and then have a week off going into the postseason. You're not that confident as a team. I know as a fan, I'm not that confident.
Yeah, and I agree with what you said. I thought some of the pitching decisions that Boone made last night were a little sus. And I thought that would have been a good time to throw Clay Holmes in. There was hardly any pressure. We were down by 5 runs. They could have put Clay Holmes in, let him maybe get some experience. If you're going to start him in the postseason, which Boone has already publicly said, not start him, but if you're going to use him in the postseason, which Boone has already publicly said that he is intending to, this would have been a prime time for him to go out there, see the Orioles, who we may meet in the postseason, get some more reps against them, prove that he's still got it, hold the lead to what it was without the pressure of a 1-run save situation or whatever. I don't know why they didn't do that. I also don't know why they didn't just leave the pitchers in who were in, because we were already going to lose the game. Why are we burning another arm? Like, I was just very confused by the bullpen. But again, I have to chalk that up to the fact, like what you said, this game was kind of a fly by the seat of your pants game. It all got upended because of the injury, the last-minute injury, the last-minute MRI. Now, do I think that Bruce Bochy would have handled the situation the way Aaron Boone handled it? Nah, I don't. Okay? Bruce Bochy, these type of Hall of Fame managers probably could have navigated the situation a little bit better, okay? But, it is what it is. We have Aaron Boone for now. So, last night kind of was a wash, and it sucks because we wanted to clinch. We wanted to make a statement. Now we've lost the series. We don't want to get swept, but we've already lost the series, and that's already got a bad taste, okay?
Yeah.
But 3 of the hits in the first inning should have been caught. So like I think Marcus Stroman gave up 6 hits in the first inning, either 6 or 7. I think it was 6. 3 of them should have been not scored hits. Okay. Yeah. So 2 on Volpe, 1 on Jasson. And I love him. I think he should start, but I'm not going to back down on the fact that he should have made that play. Of course he should have made that play. It happens to everybody, but he should have made that play. Juan Soto should have made the play later in the game. I'm going to say it. I love Juan Soto. Please resign. Don't leave. I love you. But you should have made that. You should have made that play. He gave up 2 runs on that play. 3 runs, 2 runs, 2 runs on that play. Juan Soto. Jasson gave up 2 runs on that play. Volpe gave up what should have been a double play. I mean, look, we can go up and down the roster. The defense was sloppy last night.
Yeah.
From top to bottom. Okay? From top to bottom.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. I mean, I hope we clinch tonight. Daddy Cole is going to do everything he possibly can. Unfortunately, we have to face Corbin Burns. So, although I think we've hit him this year, and he hasn't been the ace that Daddy Cole has been, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, we've knocked Corbin Burns around the times we faced him this year. He hasn't been that dominant. In the second half of the season as well, Corbin Burns, his numbers have been up and down. He's been pitching better of late, but he's a bit shaky. Listen, this is how I view it, right? And we're going to talk about Jasson Dominguez. We're going to talk about the Marshall. We're going to talk about the entire first inning, right? And it's not just Jasson Dominguez. It's this team as a whole, right? And Aaron Judge said it not in last game's postseason. I'm not in last game's post-game conference. It was the game before where I was at the stadium Tuesday night when Gleyber Torres had that mental mistake on the base paths. And Aaron Judge said it. We cannot have these type of mistakes. If we're trying to go far in the postseason, I'm paraphrasing right now. Yeah. If we're trying to go far in the postseason, you cannot have those type of mistakes happen on the field, whether you're running the base pass or whether you're playing defense. If you give your opposing team extra outs, or you're just giving up outs on the base paths, you're making it easier for your opponent to beat you. It doesn't matter if it's the Oakland Athletics, if it's the Chicago White Sox, or the Baltimore Orioles, or the Milwaukee Brewers. If you give your opponent extra outs, if you as a team are giving up extra outs on the base paths, one, you're making it easier for your opponent to get you out of the inning. Got to get 1, 2, 3 outs. And 2, you're giving your opponent extra chances to score. That play that Jasson Dominguez made, the bases was loaded with nobody out. 2 runs scored off of that. If he would have just caught that ball, if Anthony Volpe got that double play, at bare minimum, he's giving up just 1 run in that first inning. But that's not what happened. The Yankees were behind the 8 ball as soon as the game started. And my guy Patrick Sinclair said it in the chat. Stroman pitched only once over a 3-week span. Poteet was scheduled. He was in line for a start. And it's not a good call to start Marcus Stroman. Patrick, I agree with you 100%. When it comes to Bruce Bochy, I see the argument, Grace. I think it's a little bit different because Bruce Bochy is an old school manager. I feel Bruce Bochy would have went with Marcus Stroman, his veteran, the guy who started the season, who opened the season at Yankee Stadium opening day, your opening day pitcher at the stadium. I think Bruce Bochy, as a veteran manager, would have went with Marcus Stroman in that moment. Again, with this news coming out with Nestor Cortes, it's just the last minute news, and they had to act accordingly. It's very easy for us as fans and as content creators to just nitpick just here or there. I just feel from an organization standpoint, the Yankees probably felt more comfortable going with Marcus Stroman, especially with how loyal Marcus Stroman has been this season for the New York Yankees, how reliable he has been for the New York Yankees, and as great of a Yankee he has been this season. Marcus Stroman, in his first year as a New York Yankees, he is the nominee for the Yankees when it comes to the Roberto Clemente Award, right? This is a guy that that majority of the Yankee fandom didn't want to be in pinstripes this year because he hurt their feelings on Twitter a couple of seasons ago, right? A few years back. This is a guy who had a public back and forth with Brian Cashman on social media, and he changed his narrative and he rewrote his story. He grew up a Yankee fan, and I just feel that the organization probably wanted to give him that honor, like, hey, go out there, be the starting pitcher of record on the day that we clinched the division. I just feel the Yankees just wanted to do right by Marcus Stroman. Again, it's just me trying to find a silver lining. Hindsight is 50-50. I'm not a fly in the room, so I really don't know what ultimately was the decision maker on why he got the start over Cody Petit.
I agree with what you're saying. I think you're probably spot on. But unfortunately, and listen, I love Marcus Stroman as a person.
I'm sorry. I just want to highlight something. Erica in the chat, that's baseball. Erica said, this is my YouTube account. Might be getting this running back up soon. Erica, guys, make sure you guys go and follow our friend Erica. Please go subscribe to Erica's YouTube channel, because Erica, I said it on the show the other day, you and Grace, you guys give amazing takes when it comes to talking sports, and we need to hear more women in sports. Grace, I apologize for cutting you off. I just wanted to give our friends some love. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
That's okay. I was trying to remember what I was saying because I have ADHD. I forgot what I was saying.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no. What were we talking about? Oh, I was saying that unfortunately, at this point in the season, loyalty, shamoyalty, okay? We got to win the game, okay? It is crunch time. It is past the point of no return. It's time to stop playing. And now we were talking about Bruce Bochy, and I've been wanting to bring this up. I've been wanting to bring this up for a month, okay? Because I went to the Yankees games in Texas against the Texas Rangers, right? And I wanted to bring this up. If you guys remember, I went to the second and third game in the series where we got blown out. It was horrible, okay? But whatever. I still got to see my Yankees, so it was fine. But one of the games, we were down, I think, I'm not even lying, I think we were down 8 runs in the 9th inning or something incredibly embarrassing, okay? And we started hitting. We got a couple guys on base. Now, this was like a month ago, so like the details are a little fuzzy for me, okay? But the point is, Bruce Bochy pulled his pitcher in the 9th inning when they had an 8-run lead on us, and they were not in playoff contention. The Rangers had almost been mathematically eliminated. I'm not even joking. They're not in playoff contention. They were not in wild card contention. They weren't in contention for the division. They weren't in contention for nothing, okay? And I think they had an under 500 record. I'm pretty sure they had an under 500 record. And we were trying to chase the Orioles at the time, and we were playing for a lot. They weren't playing for okay? And Bruce Bochy pulled his pitcher in the 9th inning. And I said to myself, what? Why would he pull his pitcher here? And then I said, oh, because this man is a Hall of Fame manager and he wants to win, and he does not care what day it is, what time it is, where his team is in the playoff, picture. He does not care. He's trying to win every game, every time. And guess what? He doesn't care how that pitcher feels. He does not care. It's not emotional. It's not about loyalty. It's not about friendship. It's about, hey man, you don't have it tonight. Call to the bullpen, next up. And then guess what happened after that, Hector? That pitcher got hit too. And then guess what? He pulled him too. He went through 3 pitchers in the 9th inning with a 7 or 8 run lead over the Yankees when his team is out of everything. He doesn't care. And I said to myself, wow, this is not how we manage. This is not how we manage. And I'm not trying to come up here and roast Aaron Boone today, okay? But my point is, loyalty goes out the window when it's coming to the postseason, when it's coming to crunch time, when it's coming to all that. It's not emotional. It's not about who's your friend. It's not about who you're going to buy a Christmas present for, okay? It's not about who is your kid's godfather or whatever, okay? It's about winning the game, period. End of story. Who's going to give you the best chance to win the game? And that's it. And Bruce Bochy, that's how he manages every day. And that's why he's a Hall of Fame manager. And that's why he's got multiple World Series wins with multiple different organizations.
And I just want to say that's Grace Monroe. And this was the segment Grace on Fire. Because Grace, listen, I'm not disagreeing with you. When it comes down to Aaron Boone, I know some Yankee fans, they have a love-hate relationship with the way that he manages and the way that he handles the bullpen. And when it comes to post-game press conferences, you saw that back and forth that Boone had with Chris K about Gleyber Torres leading the league in most outs at home base. I get it. I understand it, right? We got to understand in 2024, the umpire, it's not the the manager. The manager for the team, it's not from the 70s anymore. It's not Billy Martin anymore. These are not we're in a different day and age. Back then in the 60s and 70s and the 80s, when all of that was happening in Major League Baseball, you know what was happening in the regular workforce? You got people who were getting paid $1 an hour working in restaurants, 75 cents an hour. You got managers and business owners was able to talk to their workers in whatever way they wanted to talk to their workers. That's how it was back then. That's not how it is in 2024. So I get the frustrations. You guys want to see players be held accountable. I want to see that also. I want to see players be held accountable as well. I felt the way that Aaron Judge handled it, the captain of the team, saying, you know what? Can't have that type of nonsense out there, especially if we're trying to compete for a championship. I think that's the proper way to go about it in 2024. I think the days of the Sparky Lyle or the Billy Martin, those type of managers, I think that's back then. That's not right now. Shout out to my guy Anthony Rivera in the building. He said back then managers were in charge. Managers now are involved with collaboration with the front office. It's a different time now. Absolutely. You got to look at it like this. If you're a major league organization, if you're a baseball, if you're in the New York Yankees, right, you have $300 million invested into Garrett Cole. You're going to try to make sure you're going to get every dollar out of Garrett Cole. This means you're going to have the analytics department. You're going to have everything be nitpicked. You're going to have every resources at your hand to make sure that $300 million investment doesn't get wasted because of an injury, right? And I get it. There's a lot of precautions nowadays, but you got to realize in 2024, the talent level in Major League Baseball, it's a bigger talent level than it was back in the day. Back in the days in the 90s, they didn't have guys coming out the bullpen regularly throwing 98, 99, 100 miles per hour. If you threw 100 miles per hour in the 90s or in the early 2000s, you were a unicorn. That was a phenomenon. You remember Joel Zumaya when he came out with the Detroit Tigers? He was killing it 100, 101 miles per hour. Nowadays, it feels like every team has at least one person coming out of that bullpen throwing 100 miles per hour. So that's why the batting averages are lower than it was in the 90s. That's why there's more strikeouts nowadays than it was back then, because you have better pitchers, you have better talent, you got better athletes on the field in 2024 than you do back in the days.
So what I'm
Sorry
saying,
for that long thing.
No, you're good. But what I'm saying is I agree with you, Hector, but there has to be a happy medium. You can have a feel for the game and use analytics. And maybe you say, like, let's say maybe in a world where you value loyalty. Sure, fine, cool. I'll start Marcus Stroman. But the minute I see he doesn't have it, he's getting the hook. And I don't care. I don't care, because it's not about feelings. It's not about that. It's about winning the game. And you don't have to go out there and be like, give me the ball. You suck tonight. You know what I mean? Like, come on. He's not going to do that. It's just, hey, man, I got to go to the next guy. We'll talk later. Like, we're still cool. Like, it's not about your feelings. There's no crying in baseball. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. But so your issue is Marcus Stroman should have been taken out in that first inning, you think? No.
My issue is I probably wouldn't have. I probably would have started who I thought was going to win the game, not who I thought needed the moral boost to, I don't know. But if
I get it, it's easy for us to nitpick and hindsight 50-50. I
love
get it.
Marcus Stroman. I'm not attacking him. He tried to do his best. It wasn't his start. I get it. I don't really agree with how Boone handled the rest of the game after that. But
No, that's fair.
again, we can look back and we can nitpick, like you said. We have that.
It's fair.
But the thing is, I'm talking about an overarching theme that I witnessed firsthand with Bruce Bochy that I don't witness with Aaron Boone. And that is an unemotional desire to win, an objective way that he manages his club. And don't get me wrong, those Rangers love Bruce Bochy, okay? But it's not about that. They love him because they respect him. They love him because they know that he'll pull them. He'll sit them like Marcus Semien I think he hit leadoff in 2023. And this year he's batting 9th, 8th, 7th. Do you think Bruce Bochy was like, oh, I can't do this to Marcus. He'll hurt his feelings. No, he was like, hey, my guy, you don't have it right now, so I'm dropping you down the lineup. You coming over this weekend? Like, it doesn't have to be like, you know what I'm saying? And that's my point. So I'm not even really specifically talking about last night necessarily. I'm just talking about an overarching style of management. Anyway, I'm not trying to attack Aaron Boone. I've gotten on a tangent. I'm ready to defend Jasson Dominguez now. Next round.
That's a great segment right there, because now we got to switch over to Jasson Dominguez, who had that error in the first inning. His defense has looked very, very suspect, right? My
I don't
thing
know about
is
very. Okay, go ahead.
No, it has looked suspect. It looked very suspect in left field. My issue is with the whole Jasson Dominguez is it's more of an organization than it is on Jasson Dominguez. When it comes to Dominguez, he has played majority of his games in the minor leagues and in the major leagues in center field. Even last year when he came up, he played center field. So to have him play left field in Yankee Stadium is like center field and every other ballpark, but the dimensions are just different. It's just a different view. It's just different angles you go in it. Not to 100% defend Jasson Dominguez, right? I don't, he's a Major League Baseball player. That play should have been made. But I put this on the Yankees and the organization. He needs to be out there every day, getting everyday at racks, getting everyday at bats, and getting everyday reps. Like Randy Wilkins, shout out to Randy Wilkes on Twitter. He put it out there. I'm still giving Jasson Dominguez as many at bats and in the outfield reps as possible from now until the end of the season. I know the defensive miscues are bad. He needs to be better. The alternatives is quite literally one of the worst everyday players in Major League Baseball. There is literally little value there. And he's referencing Alex Verdugo and his bad play when it comes to his offense.
That's it. Great quote.
When you look at our team, the one Achilles heel that we have on this team is our defense. Our defense is horrible, right? My argument, when you look at it, to have Verdugo over Jasson Dominguez is that you're taking less pressure off of Aaron Judge patrolling the outfield and center field. If you have Alex Verdugo in left field in the postseason, Aaron Judge doesn't have to have it in the back of his mind. He has to make sure that he could back up Jasson Dominguez. Even though we see Aaron Judge playing defense, he's always backing up Alex Verdugo. It's easier for Judge to play the defense knowing that the player next to him is going to make that play instead of hoping that, whoa, I hope this rookie can make the play. Let me go and try to back him up on a play. It's just, to me, if you're a baseball player, if you're an athlete in general, if you start to second guess on a play, you can lead to injuries happening. And that's what I want to avoid. I want to avoid Aaron Judge getting injured in the postseason. And that's my only argument when it comes to starting Verdugo over Dominguez. It's our defense has been horrible this season in the infield. I don't think it serves us or benefit us to now let's make our outfield a weaker defense. Even though Alex Verdugo's his offensive outs above average is literally just above league average, it's still it's still better than what we have seen from Jasson Dominguez. I love you, Grace.
I love you too. I gotta say, I got my Jasson Dominguez t-shirt on, and I'm ready for. I came in. I woke up. I don't know why I'm a vampire. I woke up.
Now, I don't think Dominguez is a bust. I don't think Dominguez is a bust. There's people out there saying that he's a. I would never say that. I think Dominguez has all-star potential. I just feel right now the Yankees didn't serve him well, but he should have been up earlier in the season so he could get those reps, so he could get used to playing left field. This is more on the Yankees than it is on Jasson Dominguez.
So everything I want to say, I love and respect you and disagree with you, and that's okay. Everybody, watch how we're gonna continue to be besties. I agree with you. The Yankees did not prepare Jasson Dominguez for this, and they mishandled him. I agree with you. I agree with you that he should have had that ball. I agree with you that it's more stress on Judge when he's out there in a lot of ways. The only thing I disagree with you on is that you said Verdugo should start over Jasson, and I don't agree there. I agree with you at every other point. I just believe that there's so much more upside with Jasson Dominguez in the lineup than Alex Verdugo that I'm willing to go there. And that's just a difference of opinion, really. Alex Verdugo has no offensive upside. In fact, he detracts from the offense. And he has one of the lowest hit ball rates velocity in the entire league. Definitely the lowest on the Yankees. His average exit velocity is like 80 something miles per hour, which equates to double plays, ground balls, ground into double plays, maybe even a triple play. Why not? It's the postseason. Jasson doesn't do that. Jasson works long at bats. He puts the ball in the air. Yeah, he grounds over sometimes when he breaks the bat, which don't get me started on the broken bats. But he's smarter at the plate. He's more in control at the plate. And there's always a bigger threat of an extra base hit, of a home run, of all this stuff. There's just more power with Jasson's bat. So for me, I'm willing to go there. We have been losing in the postseason year after year because we can't hit, not because we can't field. Now, I'm not saying that you don't need defense. Obviously, you need defense. I don't think Jasson's defense is that bad. I know. He's missed some plays. But for me, in my mind, I can explain those away. And I think that he'll do better. I believe that he will do better. Now, if he doesn't do better, and it's at the point when, like I said, excuse me, you need to manage like Bruce Bochy and say, this is not about who I love. This is not about who is going to be XYZ megastar next year, year after that. It's about who's going to help us win the game today. And you need to pull Jasson and put somebody else out there, then fine. But Jasson needs to get his chances. He needs to be starting. He needs to get reps. He has had Brian Cashman out there talking shit about him, saying that Alex Verdugo gives them the best chance to win when Jasson was hitting the cover off the ball in the minor leagues. And how do you think that makes a 21-year-old feel? Okay, how do you think it makes him feel when he comes up and he sees that Alex Verdugo is below him in slugging, in OPS, in OBP, and everything else, okay? And he hits the ball 80 miles an hour into a double play every time, and he's getting sat for him. And Alex Verdugo's entering free agency at the end of the year, and Jasson Dominguez is going to be a starter next year. And yet he's sitting on the bench. How do you think that makes him feel? It matters. All of this goes into it, okay? Now, he should have had that ball, okay? He should have had that ball last night. But Juan Soto missed a ball last night. Anthony Volpe missed a ball last night. Jazz Chisholm dropped a ball last night. Marcus Stroman pitched the way he pitched last night. It's, okay, we had a bad night top to bottom, and it's not just on Jasson Dominguez. I don't know why he's becoming the punching bag. There were plenty of errors, plenty of should have been errors to go around last night. Okay. I still think that Jasson Dominguez gives us the best chance to win. When you factor in all of the factors, does he give us the best defense? No. But if you want the best defense, it ain't Alex Verdugo either. It's Trent Grisham. It's Gold Glove Trent Grisham. Not only can he cover left field, he can cover center field, he can cover right field. So if your argument is I want better defense, it's Trent Grisham. If your argument is I want better offense, it's Jasson Dominguez. Neither one of these arguments has Alex Verdugo. That's where I'm standing. Now, maybe they could carry all of them. I don't know what they're gonna do. You know,
yeah,
maybe go ahead.
I don't see them carrying all of them. And this is again, this is not us to go back and forth and nitpick and try to have arguments, but this is where I stand in this conversation. If Yankee fans the other day, Gleyber Torres on the base paths, right? Even if it's not Gleyber Torres' fault, right? That he got out, no matter what happened, it was going to be blamed on Gleyber Torres. Why? Because of all the other mistakes, right? Just like with Jasson Dominguez, we could point to the Anthony Volpe miscue. We could point to the Jazz Chisholm miscue. We could point to that, but that doesn't absolve Jasson Dominguez from not only that play that he misplayed, but the other plays as well. I agree with you. If I'm Jasson Dominguez, I'm pissed off. I'm supposed to be the future, and you got a guy in Alex Verdugo starting over me. You know what you're supposed to do? Make the most out of your opportunity. Show them why you should be playing. Show them this is why I should be playing over Alex Verdugo, not going out there and having those type of miscues in the outfield. The reason why Gleyber Torres gets to get away with it is because Gleyber Torres is on the last year of his contract and he's out the door, and the Yankees do not have a replacement at the major league level or a replacement who's ready at the minor league level right now that they're confident in. The reason why Alex Verdugo is getting that opportunity to play in left field is because his defensive metrics are a little bit better above league average. The reason why he starts more than Trent Grisham's, who's a better defender than him, is because Alex Verdugo, his batting average is 50 points higher than Trent Grisham. That's not saying much because Trent Grisham's batting average is below 200, but it's still a better batting average than what Trent Grisham has. And when you really dissect it, the reason why the Yankees, I feel, are gonna have Alex Verdugo over Jasson Dominguez and Trent Grisham in left field, they're gonna go off of the back of the baseball card. And when you look at Alex Verdugo's numbers in the postseason, Alex Verdugo for his career has hit over 300 in the postseason. He's won a World Series with the Boston Red Sox. Again, would I want Jasson Dominguez to get that rep in the postseason to get used to playing postseason baseball? Absolutely. I will pick Jasson Dominguez. My fandom will pick Jasson Dominguez over Alex Verdugo. But if you're the Yankees and you're trying to win, and you got to ask yourself, who do you rather trust? A rookie who's been shaky in the outfield defensively, or a veteran in Alex Verdugo who's been there and who's done that? And the Yankees are going to choose the veteran over the rookie 9 times out of 10.
Well, that's a mistake. You got to pick the better player. Doesn't matter if they have rookie or if they're a veteran. It's got to be the better player to win the game. Time and time again, we have seen these World Series winners with rookies that catch fire. And why can't the Yankees have some magic? Why do we always have to be old and slow?
With the Dodgers, Verdugo won the World Series with the Dodgers, not the Red Sox. Sorry, that's what I meant to say.
Jasson Dominguez is fast and young, and he has power, and he switch hits. Come on, y'all. This is stupid. If they leave him off the postseason roster, mark my words, it's a mistake. It's a mistake.
It's just for defense, because when you look at it, Juan Soto, he's not the best defender in right field. So now you're asking Aaron Judge to do more on the defensive side of the defensive side of the game. Aaron Judge already struggles in the postseason offensively, and now you want Aaron Judge to not only pick up the slack that he has to with Juan Soto. Now you want him to do the same thing in left field with Jasson Dominguez. To me, I think that's just asking too much. If Juan Soto was an above average defender, if Juan Soto was league average in right field, it's a different conversation. I think it's a different conversation.
Judge and have Jasson play center field and put Alex Verdugo in left field against lefties or against righties.
Mm-hmm. And then you taking Stanton's bat out the lineup, and now Stanton is just a non-factor on the bench.
Well, I hear what you're saying. Aaron Judge is hardly going to see a pitch to hit.
Because Stanton, you can't use Stanton as a defensive replacement. Stanton is horrible as a pinch hitter. Horrible in his career as a pinch hitter. You know?
I mean,
and that's where it gets tricky if you're the Yankees. Like, you have all of these pieces, and I hear the argument when it comes to Jasson Dominguez. I do. But like I said, if Juan Soto was a Gold Glove defender in right field or league average in right field, above league average in right field, we're having a different story. It's the fact that Aaron Judge is playing center field, and Aaron Judge now not only does he have to worry about Juan Soto, now he has to worry about a rookie in Jasson Dominguez. Even if our infield defense was Gold Glove caliber infield defense, right? If our infield defense wasn't one of the worst infield defense in baseball, we'd be having a different story. But now, not only are you going into the postseason with a really bad infield defense, now you're going in with a worse outfield defensive rotation.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Hector. If Jasson starts, let's say he starts the next.
Oh wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Give me a second because I forgot to shout out Anna Marie. Anna Marie, yes, we can see you. Shout out to Anna Marie in the chat. I do apologize. Let's shout out the chat. That's Baseball. Erica says no way with Stanton, who is phenomenal in the postseason. Absolutely, you got to keep his bat in the lineup. My guy Jason 161. Jason, me and Grace were down. You just let us know when you want us on the show, and we will be there. LB in the chat says they would take Dominguez to the playoffs in case Stanton continues to be cold. That's a good argument right there. Appreciate that, LB. Anna Marie says 2020 World Series doesn't count. I gotta throw the shade at the Dodgers, but you can't. You know what I mean? Nosebleed section says Erica, it's a veteran versus rookie status. Absolutely. Go ahead, Grace. I do apologize. I just wanted to get to the chat.
I don't care. Y'all are tripping right now. You're talking about veteran like we're talking about Mickey Mantle. We're talking about Alex Verdugo. Y'all are tripping right now. Oh, you're getting me heated too. Y'all, Jasson Dominguez belongs on this postseason roster. I don't give a. Okay? Now, if you're going to start so-and-so over him, whatever, but he better be on the roster. Period. He better be on there. I'm not lying. I'm not lying, y'all. I will lose my mind because you need your best players. That's it. I gotta wait for you to lose your mind. All right. So I got a clip that I want to play. And like I said, with my argument on wanting to have Verdugo over Dominguez, I don't think Dominguez is a bust. I've seen a lot of people saying Dominguez is a bust. He's never going to live up to the hype. God. Whatever, yada, yada, yada. So I have a video that I know will get Grace very upset. It's been 12 games.
We're going to play the video, and we'll be right back.
The Yankees have a Martian-sized problem. I'm former MLB agent Joshua Kuznick, and this is Jasson Dominguez. And I am so sick and tired of every freaking fan trying to convince me that this is the real deal because they bought his special baseball card for too much money at the same time they were buying Zion Williamson cards. Do you know who this is? I've seen this movie. I'm 42 years old. Google Ruben Rivera, not the glove stealing. Google him as a player. Google his career in the minor leagues. And then compare it to Jasson Dominguez. Just do that. I'm not even going to say anything. Just compare Ruben Rivera to Jasson Dominguez and tell me you don't notice anything. I'm somewhere spectrum-y, like I see patterns. Tell me that's not the same. Tell me that's not the same as this. I'm sorry. I know he's young, but I used to tell people youth is not an excuse for sucking. This guy has done terribly. You can blame the Yankees all you want, but they've determined that Alex Verdugo gives them a better chance in the field. He's making mistakes. They don't like to bat. You can show me all the analytics you want in the walk rate. He's not going to keep up a 15% walk rate. I've heard rumors he's 6 months older, which is no big deal, than he said he was at signing. But this is a developmental fail. Guys like Chorio have passed him. You are simping for a guy you are hoping to be Alex Verdugo. You are simping for a guy that you are hoping is Starling Marte. This doesn't matter anymore. You are plea bargaining. This guy's mid. Stop talking to me about him. Later.
Are you in a hot tub, bro?
That's what
and
I was
you
going to
thought,
say.
you know what? This is the time I really need to set the record straight about these Yankees fans. Let me just get my phone out while I'm in a hot tub. Get the fuck out of here.
And you see, Grace didn't censor herself that time because
See?
she had to get. But I agree with Erica, 100%. Anna Marie said, never heard of this show. Listen, this is a guy that I follow on Twitter.
The chat.
This is a guy that I follow on TikTok specifically for his bad takes. I like to take his bad takes and I like to recycle them and put them out on Twitter just to get people's opinion on his videos. But listen, this is the guy that he said he's a former major league agent, right? Whatever. Gotta take his word, face value it, right? Whatever. Do I think Jasson Dominguez lied about his age? No, I don't. Do I think he's going to be Ruben Rivera or whatever player that he mentioned? No, absolutely not. This is the same guy who said Anthony Volpe would be back in the minor leagues this time. He said that about Volpe, that Anthony Volpe is not a major league shortstop. He said that. Anthony Volpe, he's not the best, right? He's not Gunnar Henderson. He's not Jackson Holiday, but he's still a major league shortstop. Regardless of what happened, I think Jasson Dominguez is going to have a solid major league career. I don't know about that extra non-curricular stuff about him lying about his age. I don't know nothing about that. I'm not going to speak on that. But what I am going to speak on is I don't want Yankee fans to use this as an opportunity to take cheap shots on Jasson Dominguez, right? We all say here, like, yeah, we can have our takes and we can talk about sports as long as we're respectful, right? We have to understand there's a certain line that you do not cross when having these conversations about the athletes or about the organizations, right? I'm not trying to say we're going to censor people and what they say, but we understand that there's a certain line that we don't cross. We're not going to go and troll Brian Cashman's daughter on why Brian Cashman didn't bring up Jasson Dominguez on September 1st. That's not something that we advocate and we support over here. But what I am going to say is don't use this as an opportunity to make content like that to take cheap shots at a player who's struggling at the moment. It's the one thing I want to say.
I want to say that everybody can just go ahead and run their mouth because I'm going to keep the receipts. Okay? And next year or whenever, when Jasson Dominguez is the truth, we'll remember. That's all I'm saying. The internet lives forever. So go ahead and run your mouth.
Yeah.
Go ahead and run your mouth.
We're going to hold the receipts. We go hold because that's a guy. This is the guy. When I'm on Twitter Spaces, I like to take his videos and I like to send it to like Michael Caputo. Yeah,
like giving candy to a baby.
Yeah.
Not that I'm saying Caputo's a baby. That's a saying. I didn't make it up.
Yeah.
But you know, yeah. I mean, look. At the end of the day, I want the Yankees to win, you know, and I'm not in charge of the lineup. So if Verdugo goes out there and we win the game, I'll be happy. Obviously, I want the Yankees to win.
Nice.
Whoever's the best, I want them out there. Right now, I still believe Jasson Dominguez is the best. Let me ask you this, Hector.
Go ahead.
If he gets more starts for the rest of this year, I know that we only have 4 games left or something, and he doesn't make any more errors in left field. Let's just a hypothetical scenario.
Hypothetical.
Then, would you want him to start in the postseason over Alex Verdugo? Keeps the same offensive production, let's say, which is, by the way, higher than Alex Verdugo's.
Yeah, he's in 250 over his last 10 games. Last time I checked. I would say, yeah. I would say the odd man out would be Trent Grisham would be the odd man out and have Alex Verdugo be that defensive replacement in the outfield if you need to have it. I'm not sure if the Yankees trust him yet. I'm just not too sure if the Yankees trust him yet. And you gotta look at it for the future, right? Because if he's going to be our starting left fielder for next year, right? You know who had a horrible misplay in the outfield in the postseason when they were coming up as a young outfielder? It's crazy. That player's on our team right now. It's crazy.
Who?
Crazy. Cost their team the game and they got sent home. Trent Grisham. Trent Grisham with the Milwaukee Brewers. years back. I think it was a wild card game or something, or it was the best three games. It was hit to him in right field. He's charging for it. He misplays the ball, goes behind him. Boom. Milwaukee goes home. And then he's traded in that offseason. So that's what I want to avoid with Jasson Dominguez. I don't want Jasson Dominguez to go through what Trent Grisham went through. And it took Trent Grisham a couple of seasons to recover and finally win that Gold Glove in San Diego and finally become a competent outfielder at the major league level. Jasson Dominguez does have better tools than Trent Grisham. But Trent Grisham, as good as he was defensively, he had a misplay in the outfield in the postseason, and it has set him back for years when it comes to his development. Let's shout out the chat. My guy FL Diver is in the building. FL Diver, how you doing? He says, good morning, Hector. Good morning, Grace. LB says, yes, Soto hit the ball and Grisham missed it. It was a game, the Brewers versus the Washington Nationals, the year that the Nationals won the World Series. And it's crazy because we're having that conversation, and two of those players involved in that play are our team, and Trent Grisham and Juan Soto. LB, appreciate you for adding the Juan Soto part into the chat. LB also says, I can't see this team be in Houston, to be honest. There's not enough slugging. We need Dominguez to get hot. They have Altuve, Alvarez, Tucker, Bregman, Diaz, Pena, Singleton, Dubon, and Hayward. And when you look at that lineup, it's going to come down to whose pitching is better.
Yeah.
Because 1 through 9, Houston, they have a better 1 through 9. They have an actual leadoff hitter in Altuve. God bless Gleyber Torres and the job he's done as a leadoff hitter, but he's not a traditional leadoff hitter in the way that Altuve is a traditional leadoff hitter. Altuve may not have the same legs underneath him that he once had 5-6 years ago, but he's still a traditional, more of a leadoff hitter than Gleyber Torres is. So it's going to come down to who's starting pitching. It's going to show up against the Houston Astros. And the Yankees pitching, we got some bad news with Nestor Cortes missing his start, right? He has to go get an MRI, and he hopes that he will be back. He's getting some PRP injections. They're going to shut him down for 7 to 10 days, and maybe he's back in the DS or the ALCS if the Yankees make it to the ALCS.
I heard somebody did the math, and the quickest he could come, I think it was Michael Kay said it on his radio show, that the quickest he could come back would be the ALCS. So hope we make it there.
Listen, this is what I'm going to say. I don't think Nestor Cortes pitches with the Yankees again this season.
Yeah, I think it. I agree with you. I tend to agree with you. I heard Meredith mention on the broadcast last night that they were going to send the images to that guy in LA, Alatrash, whatever his name is. I'm sorry, I don't know it. Elatrash. I'm so close.
Elatrash.
I'm right there. Okay, Elatrash. Because they were hoping to avoid surgery, and I'm like, surgery? Surgery's on the table? Oh, he ain't coming back. He ain't coming back this year.
Yeah, if surgery's on the table, he's not coming back. Now he's pitched his last pitch with the Yankees probably because he's a free agent after next year. Next year is his last arbitration year. So that sucks for Nestor Cortes. He was making this is the thing. Nestor Cortes has been solid for the Yankees over the past 3 or 4 years, and the most money he's ever made in a season, I think, it hasn't even been $1 million. So the Yankees have had Nestor Cortes on the cheap, and now he's going into his last year of his contract before he can hit free agency, and he's about to miss the entire season because he has a potential elbow surgery that he's going to get. This is bad luck for the New York Yankees. And the reason why I said that I don't expect him to be back this year is I don't want to hope that he comes back to help our team. I just want to have it in my head he's done. And if he does come back, cool. It's just a bonus. It's just an extra bonus. It's just icing on the cake. I don't want to bank on Nestor Cortes coming back, because if you do that, then you're counting on forces that are outside of your control, right? Injuries, you can never count on injuries, but Nestor Cortes, he pitched a career high in innings this year, a career high in starts, and 30 starts for a season. When Garrett Cole went down, our most reliable starter in that rotation was Nestor Cortes. And now potentially he's done for the season.
And I think it's a really good point that we're talking about right now about the Astros lineup. We're already talking about the Astros, assuming we're going to meet them. But we probably will. Hoping that we get that far. The Astros, let me tell you who they're not afraid at the plate. Who they're not afraid of at the plate. Alex Verdugo. Let me tell you who they are afraid of at the plate. Let me tell you who ran roughshod over those Houston cheaters last year. Jasson Dominguez. I'm not lying. No lies are being told right now. Jasson Dominguez came out and he lives in the Astros' head rent-free. Rent-free, baby. I'm not lying. Now, is anybody afraid of, our defense with, is anybody afraid of, our defense with this lineup? No, we're afraid of them slugging the shit out of us, okay? Mm-hmm. That's going to come down to pitching. If our pitching does its job and our defense does its job to a certain point, we're going to be fine, okay? We can hit Astros pitching. We've done it this year. Thank you, Anna Marie. Thank you. See? I knew my girl had my back. Okay. But we've beaten them this year. We swept them. You know what I'm saying? We swept them in Houston. Boom. And we're going to be ready for, see that? I'm going to hype us all up. We're going to be ready for them, okay? Now, we're playing Gleyber Torres with his defense, which has been well documented on this show. And okay, it's been well documented, Gleyber's defense. But we're playing him because his offensive upside and his offensive production. Juan Soto, same thing. No offense. Love you. Please come back. Love you forever. But we're playing him every day because of his offensive upside and his offensive production, not his defense. Why doesn't Jasson Dominguez get that benefit?
Juan Soto.
Okay, but Jasson Dominguez has the potential to be a Juan Soto-like player in the near future.
I get it, right? Trust me, I get it. But I think from the Yankees, this is me personally, right? I don't measure things on potential, right? I'm not going to give my 10-year-old nephew an alcoholic beverage because potentially he's going to be 21 years one day. No, it's what are you doing in the moment? And in the moment, Jasson Dominguez has a
is slugging better, average. Is hitting better, harder hits, more production than Alex Verdugo. Go ahead.
Potentially, do I see Jasson Dominguez potentially one day being a 300 hitter at the major league level because of his plate discipline and because his bat on ball skills? Absolutely. Right now, he's a 200 hitter. And like I said, this is an issue that goes back to when he should have been called up. He should have got called up earlier in the year. But also, Jasson Dominguez got injured earlier in the season. If Jasson Dominguez never got injured earlier in the season and he didn't take away some of his development, because at the time he was injured, before he got injured, he wasn't hitting the ball well. And at AAA, he wasn't performing well. He got injured. Once he came back from injury, that's when he started going on his tear and everybody wanted him to get called up. But I see what you're saying, right? Let's see. My guy Ghost said Jasson Dominguez, the Houston Destroyer. And that was my argument the last time we spoke about this on why I want Jasson Dominguez, why I wanted Jasson Dominguez on the roster in the postseason, because of the damage he did against the Houston Astros, specifically Justin Verlander. But seeing the play that he did yesterday,
the one play, and then you threw the baby out with the bathwater, Hector. You can't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
To be fair, it's when I'm sitting in the press box and seeing him take fly balls in the outfield, I'm like, oh my God, you got to get better at it. So it's like when I'm seeing him take the fly balls in the outfield, I'm like, oh my God, he just needs more reps in left field. He's a center fielder. He's played center field majority of the time in the minor leagues. Playing left field in Yankee Stadium is a different beast. It's a different beast. It's not the same. It's not like playing left field in Fenway Park. It's not like playing left field in Baltimore, right? Even Baltimore has a huge-ass outfield right now. Left field in Yankee Stadium is different than any other ballpark. If we're on the road, you stick Jasson Dominguez in left field. If we're at home, put him in set. Why do you think the Yankees are reluctant in putting Aaron Judge in left field?
Because it's too big?
No, well,
line drives, different angles.
It's because they don't want him to get injured. It's more ground to patrol in left field. When Brett Gardner was here and Brett Gardner had the speed to play center field, why did the Yankees have him playing left field? He had better range than Curtis Granderson.
What? Why?
It's because left field in Yankee Stadium, the dimensions are bigger.
I thought you were going to say he's expendable.
Oh no.
Oh,
It's just no. It's just
Hector.
he was just a better defender in left field than Curtis Granderson would have been in left field.
Listen, balls come at you different in center field than left field. Like, I get it. We know, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. That's why you can't just, it takes a special defender to be able to say, I can cover center, I can cover left, I can cover right. Those people don't just grow on trees, okay? Because the game is different, the angles you take are different, the setup is different, the returns are different. It's all different. And you know, baseball noobs might look at it and say, "Oh, an outfielder's an outfielder." No, it's not. It's totally different. Okay, I get it.
I just
But
want
my
to.
point is, no. Let me say one thing, Hector, and I love and respect you, but
Go ahead.
You're like, I don't. You said I don't do it on potential. I do it on right now. Well, right now, Jasson Dominguez has a higher slugging rate, a harder exit velocity on his hit balls, a higher on base percentage, and a higher OPS than Alex Verdugo. That's right now. He's hit more home runs in this time span and more extra base hits in this time span than Alex Verdugo. That's right now. So don't tell me, oh, his postseason potential is blah 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 because of 2020 with the Dodgers. That's some potential blah blah blah. You're like, I don't judge them on potential. I judge them on right now. Okay, then right now, Jasson
I'm not using that argument. I'm saying that's what the Yankees would use. I'm not using that argument. I'm saying that's what the Yankees.
Well, I'm arguing with the Yankees. I'm arguing with the Yankees, the chat, and every other who wants to come up here right now.
I just want to point something out. I'm looking at my show notes, and I thought we was talking about Nestor Cortes. I don't know how we got back to Jasson Dominguez, but with Nestor Cortes,
exactly how we got back.
But with Nestor Cortes, this is one thing I want to say.
Okay, yeah, Nestor.
If he pitched his last pitch with the New York Yankees, I just want to say, Nestor Cortes, thank you so much, right? I hope the Yankees win it and make it as far as they can this year so Nestor Cortes can enjoy that. He definitely deserves that. He doesn't deserve to watch the Yankees being an injured pitcher. He deserves to be out there with the boys trying to get that championship. But if Nestor Cortes pitched his last pitch with the New York Yankees this season, and if he's not pitching next year because he's injured and have to recover from surgery, Nestor Cortes, as a fan, thank you so much. You came to the New York Yankees when we didn't have an ace. You was our ace when Garrett Cole was trying to figure out how to pitch in New York City. You was our guy that we counted on for years. You was an all-star for us a couple of years ago. Nestor Cortes, I thank you, my guy. Salute to Nestor Cortes. Salute to the mustache that he brought back to the Bronx Bombers. Salute to Nestor Cortes for his sneaker game. Shout out to Nestor Cortes because he always took the train to go to every Yankee game because he wanted to be just like the regular person, just like the regular Yankee fan. So shout out to Nestor Cortes. I just want to give him his flowers for that.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
Now let's switch gears and we got to talk about number 99, El Capitan, Aaron Judge, who hit his 57th home run last night, 142 RBIs. MLB Stats, they put this out on Twitter. Check this out. Aaron Judge is the first player to reach 140 plus RBIs since Ryan Howard and Prince Fielder both did it in 2009. It's been 15 years between 140 RBI season. That's the longest stretch in MLB history. Let's give flowers to Aaron Judge, number 99. Finally, Aaron Judge has someone he could go to war with in Juan Soto. Finally, and look what happened. He set a career high in RBIs in 141, and he finally broke 140 RBIs, the first time somebody done that in the past 15 years. So shout out to El Capitan.
Absolutely. Aaron Judge is actually the GOAT. I mean, this season he is putting together, you cannot help but take it for granted when you watch it every day. These statistics get popped up on the screen or on Twitter and we hear them and then it almost falls on deaf ears because we've been hearing them. But really, really, guys, we are watching something that is a once in a lifetime, like, type of player, type of season. I mean, I wrote this down last night. Judge hit his 94th extra base hit last night. which is the second highest of any Yankee of all time, second only to the Joe DiMaggio in 1937, where he had 96 extra base hits. If Judge gets 2 more extra base hits, he will have the top all-time New York Yankees record of extra base hits in a season.
It's crazy.
What? It's great. And like you said earlier in the show, Heck, it's harder to hit now than it's ever been.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this man is up there with Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, and Joe DiMaggio and Aaron Judge are the only 4 New York Yankees to have hit 93 or more extra base hits in a season. Only those 4. They all hit 93. Judge hit 94. Joe DiMaggio holds the record at 96, and Judge is 2 away. I mean, this man, and that's just one statistic, you know. You can bring up OPS, you can bring up home runs, you can bring up you can butter knife any statistic with Aaron Judge's season, and he's up there in the top. It's crazy.
Aaron Judge, when you look at, he has 314 home runs for his career, right? He signed that massive contract, 9-year deal with the Yankees a couple of seasons ago. Mm-hmm. I think he has 7 years left after this year, or 6 years left after this year. I'm going to just do it right now. If Aaron Judge is at 314, he is 186 home runs away from 500 home runs. If you divide that by 6, if Aaron Judge averages 31 home runs over the next 6 seasons, he will get to 500 home runs. I want to ask you, Grace, if Aaron Judge gets to 500 home runs, is he a Hall of Famer?
Oh, yes. I say yes. And I say if he wins a World Series, definitely. I believe, yes, he is, regardless of whether he wins a World Series or not. But when he wins a World Series, it's going to be a shoo-in. I mean,
Anna, I love you, Anna. Too early for the math.
It's always a bad time for math for me. But yeah, I mean, Aaron Judge is a Hall of Fame player if he keeps up even the mildest pace of what he's doing for a few years. I mean, he is Hall of Fame right now, but you can't forget he still has a while to play, right? So like, you know, if the worst case scenario happened and he totally imploded and became a shell of himself, and the last 6 years of his contract he was, you know, Joey Gallo or something. Aaron Hicks, shots fired. Then, you know, you're going to look back on these couple years and be like, oh, what could have been for Aaron Judge? These couple years were amazing, right? If it ended right now, he'd be a Hall of Fame player. Let me say that. If it ended right now, he'd be a Hall of Fame player. And
he's done enough for you right now, knock on wood.
If this was the end of his career, then yes, he'd be a Hall of Fame player. But he's going to be playing more years, and in that time, if he keeps up even the mildest pace of what he's doing, he'll be a Hall of Fame player. And when he wins a World Series, he'll be a Hall of Fame player. There's a couple different ways you can get there.
I want to take a second real quick. We got over 60 people watching us collectively across all social media platforms, across every platform that is out there. If you guys can, please smack that like button. We're sitting on 21 likes on this stream right now. If you guys can, let's try to get it to as close to 50 likes as possible. Smack the like button. It helps us when it comes to the algorithm on YouTube. Also, if you could share us, if you have a Facebook, if you have a Twitter, if you have an Instagram, share us on your different social media pages. Invite your friends and family to join into the conversation. Shout out to Theo AA in the chat who says, hello, Alex Campos. Sorry, your Theo is sleeping. Shout out to you, AA. Love you, my guy. Also, like Ghost said, make sure to smack the like and hit the sub button. We are on our way to 5K subscribers. In the description, you got my Twitter, Grace's Twitter, Damien's Twitter. Make sure you guys go and follow us. Make sure you guys go and visit latinosports.com. Also, put it on a bookmark. We got great articles coming out every day. I was at the stadium this past Tuesday. I'm working on some footage, behind the scenes stuff, so I could share with you guys. Even though the Baltimore Orioles was able to celebrate and clinching in their locker room, I sent Grace a video for that one. It was
something that cannot be repeated.
But it's cool to see. Again, thank you to Latino Sports, the people over there, Julio Pavon, for the opportunity that I have right now. It's a blessing, and I look forward to being able to cover the Yankees in the postseason and be able to bring you guys great content. But Grace, let's get ready to go ahead.
Let me just tell y'all. Hector is doing big things, y'all. Okay, Hector is texting me from locker rooms, from press boxes in Citi Field and Yankee Stadium. He is literally rubbing elbows with, I don't want to put you on blast, Hector, but let me just say the top people. I won't say any names. Top people and top journalists, top reporters, top everybody. Okay, Hector is in there. They know his name. They let him through doors. I'm telling y'all, Hector is doing big things. So definitely, Hector, you're awesome. You deserve everything that you have coming your way, my friend. You are truly an amazing person, and you bring so much value to the Yankees community and to any organization that you're involved with, whether it's Latino Sports or Uptown Sports TV. We're all so proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing, y'all. Hector is a big deal. Just saying. Hector's a big deal.
I love you, Grace. I love you. I love the chat as well. One thing I want to say, the coolest person that I've met, I want to say, former baseball player, Rajah Davis. He is the best player to have, best person. I'm not a player, just best person, best human being to meet. He works for MLB when it comes to like player relations. He goes to every clubhouse and he asks the players like, "Hey, how can we improve on this? How can we improve on that?" Like player conditions and stuff like that. A great job. Again, amazing person, having great conversations with him. First time I took the elevator with him at Yankee Stadium, I was nervous and he was talking to me. But then on Tuesday, kicking it on the field with him, again, Rajah Davis, one of the best human beings that I could have met. Again, if you guys get an opportunity, make sure you go show Rajah Davis some love. But before we get out of here, let's switch gears. We're getting towards the end of the season, right? It's got 4 games left. 4 games are left in the regular season. We got 1 game against the Baltimore Orioles later on today. Garrett Cole will be on the mound, and then we got a 3-game set against the Pittsburgh Pirates. I'll be in the stadium tomorrow. If you guys in the stadium, hit me up, and we'll link up regardless where at in the stadium. Just hit me up. I'll link up with whoever's at the stadium. But one thing I want to ask you, Grace. I know we could go back and forth on the Alex Verdugo, Jasson Dominguez thing all day. Take that conversation, set that to the side. When you look at our rotation, now that Nestor Cortes is on the IL, how are you setting up your starting rotation? Game 1, game 2, game 3, and game 4. Game 5, they normally just bring back game 1 starter for the game 5. So how are you lining up? And I hate to put you on the spot. Now that Nestor Cortes potentially is out for the postseason, how are you lining up your rotation 1 to 4?
Oh, okay. Well, Daddy Cole's number 1. Shocks no one. I got to get Daddy Cole number 1. Then I probably want to do a lefty next. So maybe Rodon. Oh, God, I can't believe I'm saying this. I can't believe you're putting me on the spot like this. Third, I'm going to have to say Schmidt. Maybe. Or a Heel. Either Heel or Schmidt. Schmidt, I guess. He's been pitching a little bit better. I'll say Schmidt. And then fourth, I guess, Heel. But that's 2 righties in a row.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know. It's okay. It's okay. You got, I don't know. You think Schmidt and Heel tag team?
I was about to say, I agree with Erica right here. I think it's going to be a 3-man rotation for the ALDS. And depending on what happens in game 1 and game 2, if the Yankees are up 2-0, right, 2-0 lead, I think the Yankees will have either Luis Hill or Clark Smith start game 3. Oop, I was happy to Grace. I think the Yankees will have Luis Hill and Clark. I think the Yankees will have Luis Hill start game 3 and use Clark Smith for game 4. If the Yankees are up 2-0, right?
Yeah.
If the Yankees are tied 1-1, I think the Yankees piggyback Luis Hill and Clark Smith, depending on how the bullpen is used in game 1 and game 2. If Carlos Rodon goes out there and he lays an egg and the Yankees got to use a lot of their bullpen, I think the Yankees will piggyback Luis Hill and Clark Smith in Game 3 to rest their bullpen. Again, that's how I'm thinking. It's just interesting to see, but I agree with Erica thinking that it's going to be a 3-man rotation for the ALDS. Shout out to Old Sarge. Old Sarge is in the building. Salute to you. Ally Wise is in the building. Ally Wise, peace, God. Hope all is well.
Yeah, I mean, I think Heel has had a little bit of a location challenge, and it's going to be his first postseason, which can be a non-factor, or it could be a factor. You know, you're not going to know until you get there. So I think having a little bit of a contingency plan for him is probably really smart. So I kind of like that, Hector. I kind of like that a lot. I want to believe that Rodon is going to come out and absolutely be nails, because ever since he's been on the Yankees, he's been quacking about wanting to play in the postseason and playing in the postseason, and that's what he's here for. And this is his chance to step up and do it. And I believe and want to say that I believe he will. I hope he will. Cole, as we know, is the consummate professional and will be cool as a cucumber no matter what. So he's going to be number 1. Got to do Rodon number 2. And then, 3 is kind of up in the air. Heel, Schmidt, something in there. And then we'll go from there. Hopefully we'll sweep, and then it'll be then on to the next.
It's interesting to see what the Yankees are going to do. With Cody Poteet now potentially being a part of that bullpen of the rotation. It's interesting to see. You know, they didn't make any moves at the trade deadline because they were counting on their starting rotation to get healthy. And in the last week, the last 4 games, the last 2 series, we get an injury at the worst possible chance.
When's Cousins
and it's
back?
Nestor Cortes. Cousins will be back, I think, for the DS in the middle of the ALDS. I think he'll be ready to come back at the beginning or in the middle of the ALDS. So, but again, what is Cousins going to be like when he comes back? Is Cousins going to be the same pitcher that he was before he went on the IL? We don't know. These are all potentials.
Yeah, I heard that the Yankees kind of knew that the Cousins pec issue was coming up. He was very upfront with them about the soreness that he was feeling, and they had him throw a bullpen. They were really on top of it from what I heard. And that then they said, basically, and I'm paraphrasing and kind of inserting my own opinion, I think they kind of said, look, just go out and try. And he went out, and as soon as he felt a little something, he was like, guys, and they were like, boop, okay, we'll put you on the IL, we'll take you out, we'll give you a rest. So I don't think the injury is as bad as
severe.
I don't think it's as severe as it was originally kind of received to be. I think it was more precautionary, truly, not just, it's precautionary like they always say. I think it truly was more precautionary. Give him a rest, let him have these days off, because they're going to be leaning on him big time in the postseason. And I think that Cousins knows that. I think that he's going to come back and be fine. Now, take that for whatever you will. But that's just my hunch. So I'm hoping and I'm thinking that he'll be okay.
Regardless of what happens, I'm still confident that this team is going to make a deep run in the postseason. I don't know what the outcome is going to be. I don't know what's going to happen when we get towards the end of October, going into November. I'm not sure if we're going to be going down the canyons of heroes in New York City. But one thing I want to say is that Aaron Judge is getting hot at the right moment going into the postseason. Juan Soto, he got cold in August and the beginning of September. And I think having Juan Soto in the postseason, I think it's going to take a lot of pressure off of Aaron Judge, right? It may add some extra pressure to Juan Soto, but Juan Soto is the type of player that he plays better under the pressure. He plays better in the big moment. He looks for that big moment, and I think Aaron Judge is going to feast on that. Aaron Judge over 140 RBIs for the first time in his career. I think Aaron Judge, he has a statement to make in the postseason. And I think having someone like Juan Soto next to you is going to be important. What's going to be big and key for the Yankees is what happens behind Aaron Judge. Is Austin Wells going to be able to provide some? Because Austin Wells, let's be fair, over the past week, he's gone cold. Yeah. He's gone cold over the past 10, 15 games. So is Austin Wells going to be able to pick it back up Is Jazz Chisholm going to be able to keep
Yes.
writing his Yankee story? Is Giancarlo Stanton going to be able to prove a lot of the haters wrong? What are the hitters behind Aaron Judge going to do? That's going to be key. And shout out to the chat. Let's know, folks in the chat, let us know for you guys, what is key pieces for you and this team going into the postseason? Go ahead, Grace.
All right, key pieces for me, and then I want to see what the chat has to say, but key pieces for me going into the postseason. Jazz Chisholm's got to get hot. Jazz Chisholm's got to get on base, period, the end. He has got to get on base. I don't care if he walks. I don't care if he gets hit by a pitch. I don't want him to get injured, but he's got to get on base because he's such an asset to us on that base path. If Jazz Chisholm gets hot, listen, I think Wells will really benefit from some days off. He's been playing so much. He's been doing so much behind the plate as the catcher. And I think he's a little worn on the edges. Now, I'm not saying to bench him and play Trevi. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I think he will come into the postseason after a few days off because we will clinch the division, and he's going to be refreshed, okay? So if Wells gets medium hot, Volpe also is going to benefit from the rest. Every time we've given him a rest, he's benefited from it. If Volpe gets medium hot, okay? So now I have Jazz getting hot, Wells medium hot, Volpe medium hot. Oswaldo Cabrera. He is the X factor. He will be a difference maker in this postseason. Mark my words. Where they choose to use him, where they insert him, and how he contributes to the team is going to be an X factor for the New York Yankees going into the postseason. And of course, I got to say Jasson Dominguez. Hate to sound like a broken record, but
I got a player, and I think you may like it.
Okay.
Gleyber David Torres Castro. I think Gleyber Torres is going to have a postseason of his life. I'm not saying he's going to turn into Daniel Murphy with the New York Mets, but I think Gleyber Torres, he has a lot to prove. He has a lot to prove. And Gleyber Torres, he's trying to get that massive contract extension, right? So when it comes down to it, I definitely think that Gleyber Torres is going to have a big postseason. Outside of the usual suspect, when it comes to Juan Soto and Aaron Judge, I think Gleyber David Castro Torres is going to have a big postseason. Let me shout out the Infernus De Ramos in the building. IDR, how you doing? Salute, my guy. Appreciate you showing up. If you guys can, we had over 60 people watching us, 40 people on YouTube. Smack that like button. Let's try to get as close as we can to 50 likes on this stream. Smack the like button. Sean Browning say, not the full name uses. It must be serious. Absolutely. When I mean business, I use the full name. Absolutely. Shout out my guy NFE in the strike. So shout out to everyone just popping in to say what's up. Have a good day. NFE, my brother, appreciate you. Like always, you have a good one. Guys, make sure you guys go and support NFE and the Strike Zone family. They do an amazing job over there when it comes to talking Yankees in the morning, pre-game, post-game, in the middle of the game. Shout out to my guy NFE. They do amazing work. What's your thoughts about Gleyber David?
Hey, I hope you're right. I wish him to have a Merry Christmas. Beautiful name. Beautiful name. Hope he gets a big contract and sets his family up for generations to come. I really mean that, just not with the Yankees. But I hope to remember him fondly for leading us and clinching the World Series in 2024, and we'll always have the memories, Gleyber. Thanks for the memories, Gleyber. And I'll wave to him at, in Los Angeles.
At the parade? You wave for him at the parade? How about
at the parade. And, for the rest of his career. I want him to have a good career and a good life. Just not in New York. No offense.
That's most Yankee fans. They're 50-50 when it comes to Gleyber Torres, or probably 20-80, however you want to put it. But this is the one thing I'm going to say. Shout out to my guy, Go says, let the Don speak. That's my player that will help this team win a World Series. And, of course, Jasson Dominguez on the offense, as well as Jazz and Austin Wells. Absolutely. And we're going to end it right there. The Yankees got a game later on today. Hopefully Garrett Cole can show up for the New York Yankees in his last start of the regular season before the postseason. All you Yankee fans out there, just remember, I'm Hector and
I'm Grace Monroe.
And this is Yankees Morning Brew, and we will be back this following Tuesday. So like always, drink some water, say something positive about yourself, and until next time, doses.
You fought well yesterday. Your style is unorthodox.